Welcome back to KARE 11 News Now. Downhill skiing can be challenging enough. Now imagine barreling down a mountain at more than 50 miles an hour while visually impaired. That's the reality for Team USA Paralympic skier Meg Gustafson, a reality her teammate, who is also her brother, helps her navigate in a way that many find fascinating. With the Paralympic opening ceremony now just days away, sports producer Ryan Williamson caught up with the Minnesota siblings.
The bond of a brother and sister can extend to many places. For Meg and Spencer Gustafson, that bond extends to the slopes. Their history with the sport dates back to their days as toddlers when their parents Pater and Sage got them on skis right here in Minnesota.
They all got on skis at about 2. It was just one of those things you can do as a family.
While they thought this would be a recreational sport for the family,
We just kind of wanted them to be able to ski and be good skiers.
Spencer got the urge to try ski racing at just 5 years old.
You like the freedom of it, kind of no rules.
Meg eventually joined big brother Spencer on the racing side, and the two found a passion for it, skiing for Team Gilboa, based out of Highland Hills in Bloomington. During the pandemic in 2020, they decided to take it up a notch, temporarily relocating to Vail so Meg and Spencer could train at a higher level. But then things took a turn.
Meg's always had impaired vision since she was born. Late winter, early spring of 2021, Meg started having some vision problems where the quality of her vision started deteriorating quite a bit, and her retinas were just kind of collapsing on her.
From a young age, Meg had dealt with a genetic issue called Marfan syndrome. This can affect connective tissue connected to certain parts of the body, like the eyes. The condition worsened in 2021, with her having 6 separate surgeries on her eyes, and at times she spent 30 consecutive days lying face down. But throughout her medical journey, Meg and her family just wanted to know one thing.
When can she be allowed to ski? Meg always asked, that was her very first question to any doctor at any appointment was, well, when will I be able to get back on skis?
Eventually, Meg got back on the slopes, and the Gustafsons decided to call Vail their new permanent home as Meg and Spencer skied at Ski Club Vail during the day and took classes at night. While Meg continued to compete in able-bodied races, the family was learning about options for Meg, including on the Paralympic side and for those who are visually impaired. They learned Meg would need a guide, a person to ski ahead and give concise, short commands on anything she might not expect via headset inside their helmets.
And Meg, almost without hesitation, said, Spencer can be my guide. He's one of the best skiers I know, so he's a natural fit.
It made the most sense for me to become her guide for these games.
Meg and Spencer began competing just a few months ago in the Paris Ski World and found success quickly. This was the first year Meg was eligible to compete in the World Cup and Paralympics in Paris skiing.
They didn't really have anyone tell them how to do it. They just sort of figured it out on their own. And one of the coaches said, hey, when's the last time you guys have practiced together? And Spencer said, never. We've only raced.
We've definitely had to work on our communication a lot. Have to give clear instructions.
It didn't take long for this duo to click. In their first World Cup start, they finished second in a race in Germany. That finish was good enough to qualify them for the Paralympics.
I remember in the finish of the second run, looking at the board, knowing she would end up at least on the podium, and I gave her a hug and said, you're going to the Paralympics.
For most of us, it's our first time. You just want to absorb the experience, and that's what I'm going into it trying to do.
While Meg makes her debut on the Paralympic stage, her brother Spencer will be with her all the way.
I can almost guarantee they wouldn't be here if Spencer wasn't part of the equation.
He works extremely hard. He's sacrificing his senior year too, and his
Senior season.
He is sacrificing a lot.
Spencer and Meg will continue their work together at the games, while their parents and younger sister Hope watch from the sidelines along with other extended family in attendance.
I think we're just excited to reunite as a family. We're treating this as an experience and to embrace it, and no pressure.
They hope this is just the start of a long skiing career.
It's going to be incredible. Once in a lifetime, hopefully multiple times in a lifetime experience that we're really looking forward to.
How proud are those parents? Meg, we are cheering for you. We're so grateful. Meg and Spencer are going to compete in 5 different events. And again, you guys, that starts on Saturday. And the opening ceremony is this Friday at 12:30 on the USA Network and streaming on Peacock. You can stay with KARE 11 throughout the Paralympic Games for updates on all of our local athletes. We continue picking up the pieces of what the surge left behind with our restaurants. They are still struggling, some of them on the brink, but that doesn't mean folks are giving up on saving them. Here's Kent Erdahl.
I love brown butter. I always have some on hand just in case.
There has always been a therapeutic quality to baking.
And for me, it's always playing.
For Zoe Francois.
It's always the way that I express myself and the way that I soothe myself.
Throughout Operation Metro Surge, the acclaimed cookbook author and TV host known as Zoe Bakes
They need to just sort of melt on their own.
has also used her famous kitchen to soothe others.
I've been baking for our local teachers down the street. I've been delivering food to people that need it.
Lately, she's mixed in a different kind of support
Okay.
for local restaurants that have long served
Oh yeah, now we're getting there.
as the melted marshmallows that bind our culinary community and economy together.
We don't want anybody to shut their doors. You know, we want to be able to provide enough funding that people can get through a week to stay open and get back on their feet.
That's the premise behind the Salt Cure Fund, which launched at the end of January to support local restaurants impacted by ice.
It's not just about funds, it's about action. And so for us, seeing that it's either a donate or dine out, putting those, as we like to call them, butts in chairs, you know, is a really big piece of keeping the momentum going for restaurants.
Co-founder Stephanie March says the fund has now surpassed $1 million raised, but she says restaurants have requested $4 million in grants, and time is running out.
Rent has to get paid. You know, there are people who are facing eviction from their restaurants. And so we're trying to get this enacted as fast as we can.
That's why Zoe got to work in her kitchen
And then we just start adding stuff.
and beyond,
Potato chips,
organizing an old-fashioned bake sale
lemon bars and toffee bars,
with a twist.
and Rice Krispie bars. We're gonna have over 40 bakers. Everybody's bringing at least 3 dozen bars. Press them in here. Plus we have celebrities making star bars.
The Minnesota Bars Bake Sale will be held at Gray's Food Hall on March 21st with the goal of raising money for the Salt Cure Fund while also raising spirits.
To get together and have fun. There's also gonna be dancing.
Not a lot of dancing and baking going on
Oh,
at the same time.
beg to differ. I do it in here all the time.
Kent Erdahl there reporting. Tickets for the bake sale go on sale Friday. We got more information on that. And the Salt Cure Fund, it's on KARE11.com. Stick with us. We got more news. We got more weather. It's coming up after the break.